the spring, I'll bring my spinning wheel. But it's connected to my other German side, which is from Hesse, so it really doesn't fit. When I first started tracing my family tree and discovered that my great uncle married a profrock, I thought, oh boy, here I go. And got myself down to Das Haus and Nettie Lane. And of course, being the book nerd I am, bought many, many books. Everything that Cameron had published. And I got home and I started reading. And a memory popped into my head. I was reading chapter 7, Hidden for 80 Years. And this is the story of, or account of when Eugene and one of his daughters went to, and I should remember the name,
Natalie went.
because I wrote it so many times on little pieces of, on envelopes, East North Street. I renewed the address because my aunt, Emma Keil, single lady like most of the Keils were, was the librarian at the Buffalo Evening News. And there she met a woman who became a very good friend, Natalie Wendell. And they corresponded. So and I was, maybe because my Aunt Emma and Miss Wendell, as I referred to her, because even when I started I didn't go to kindergarten. First grade, second grade, when I could write, I would have to write a card, Merry Christmas card to Miss Wendell on East North Street. The address is in here. So I start reading, and I'm thinking, I remember this. No, I took I took the page out of here. I'll just do it by memory because I took the bookmark out. Evidently, at the time of one of the anniversaries for Das Haus, was it the 50th anniversary or whatever?
It was for
Mr. Cameron was trying.
For Holy Ghost Church.
Yeah.
It was 125 years.
It was in the 1960s.
Yes.
Mr. Cameron was trying to find some things that he remembered. And he goes to this house on East North Street, bangs on the door, knocks on the door. I guess he had your sister with him.
Yeah.
And no response. But then in the book he tells the story about how the next day he gets a phone call. And evidently, he said, my friend in North Tonawanda, my aunt, had called her. They had a way of, the house was where the Buffalo General parking lot is now, ramp is now, and the house was going to be taken. And she had all these wonderful things up in her attic. And so my aunt, whatever this is, it's not important. My aunt called her. She'd seen an article in the paper about the anniversary. You better call this man. Well, then I'm remembering, oh, I was there. So sometime between the time that Miss Wendell, who I always spoke of, never met, drove my father and my aunt up to East North Street, and we met with Miss Wendell. And we're up in the attic and saw all these wonderful things that were going to be donated. And as a side note, I am just now starting to go through old slides and digitizing them. I think I have pictures from there. But when I was reading this, oh, I remember that. And of course, there's another story about a ancestor of mine in here too, except Keil is spelled K-I-L, because that's probably the way it was in the paper. Gottlieb. But I probably got other things from Miss Wendell, paper dolls, things like that. Because I know I had to write thank you notes, and this was what you did. But I remember two things. A little charm bracelet with a heart that said Natalie. And I have since donated that to the museum here, and I hope it's been accessioned. But I also got a pendant. And it's in this case, which says, Arnold Schnellenberg, jeweler, Juwelier, Wiesbaden. Well, Wiesbaden is nowhere near the Uckermark, so I don't know the exact history of this, but this locket did come from Miss Wendell. And what is so interesting when you look at it later, the chain I have it on is my great-grandmother's watch chain from Norway. So two sides of, and I'm still trying, anybody who's into DNA, I am still trying to make my connection to you guys. I got another clue that Karl Maywald's mother was a pro-frac. So, who knows?
You know that for sure?
Pardon?
You know that for sure?
I've seen it on the internet and on different family trees, and I'm hoping to do more research.